Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Inkwell Remix. My name is John, and today I'm trying something a little bit different with this video. So, if you like the background and the way this video works more than my other ones, please do let me know down in the comments. But today we are examining one of the new movie decks that was released in Attack of the Vine, and it is, of course, everyone's favourite Pixar movie, Toy Story. There are three colours for Toy Story in the new set: Amber, Emerald, and Ruby. And this movie deck makes use of all three of them, because of course we can. Now, this is an overview of the deck as a whole, and I'm going to go through some of the most important parts in a bit more detail, and then just talk a little bit at the end about how the whole deck comes together. But in short, toys rely on playing cheap characters. There's a lot of stuff that triggers off things that are 2 or less ink, and that's why the bottom of this deck is quite heavily stacked in terms of what's there. Now, starting with the most important color, which is amber. All the toys decks I've seen so far have been either amber ruby or amber emerald. Maybe there's an emerald ruby toy deck out there, but right now amber's the main color. And of those cards, the most important one, which is why he's the biggest, is absolutely Woody Jungle Guide. As we can see, a very powerful card. Shift 3, quests for 2, both powerful, but his abilities are the key thing. Whenever this character quests, draw a card, then you may play a character with cost 2 or less for free. So not only are you getting a card and a free character, but you're also playing that character for free, which triggers all the toy effects linked to paying 2 or less ink for a card. This guy is absolutely the core of any toys deck. You need 4 of him, and conveniently, of course, he is the set championship promo for this set. So he should be relatively accessible. The second ability is one I keep forgetting about, but is surprisingly important. Your other toy characters gain +1 willpower. It's not amazing, but the fact that it means you can fight a combat you'd normally be banished in and survive, sticking around for one more combat, that does make a big difference. So all in all, Woody, top card, we need to play him absolutely 4 of every single time. Now, Jessie Lively Cowgirl's got a lot of interest in various online decks, and we can see why. A 3/3 for 3, but whenever she quests, if you have 2 or more other toy characters in play, you may draw a card. Card draw is the most powerful thing you can do in Lorcana, so absolutely strong. And whenever you pay 2 or less to play a card, chosen opposing character gets -1 strength until the start of your next turn. So not only do you get to draw more cards, but when you play the cards you've drawn, you can keep your characters alive by reducing opponent's strength. Finally, we have Woody, Leader of the Toys. A 3/4 with 1 law for 4 is decent, but a little below rate. However, his ability Let's Go Home, really powerful. When you play this character, look at the top 4 cards of your deck, reveal a toy card or a location named Andy's Room, and put it into your hand. Being able to search the top 4 cards to find what you need is always good. We've seen how powerful Nani can be, and she only looks for characters with a cost 2 or less. Every character in the movie deck is a toy, so Woody effectively is look through top 4, pick whatever character you want. That's a better rate than something like Be Our Guest because it's already attached to the body. Another really strong character. Now, moving on to our secondary ink, Emerald. We've got 3 notable cards here. The first is Buzz Lightyear on the Way. He's not the biggest Buzz. There's a 7-drop legendary, of course, but I think this is definitely the best one. 4/2 with 1 law is fine, but the important thing are his abilities. Whenever you pay 2 or less to play a non-character, you may draw a card, then choose and discard a card. It's not quite as good as pure card draw, but it's still good. And World's Greatest Toy. Whenever you play 2 or less to play a character, deal 1 damage to chosen opposing damaged character. Now, neither of these abilities are crazy on their own, but the fact that you get them both whenever you do it, they're not limited to 1 per turn, makes Buzz a very strong card and well worth playing, in my opinion. And we also have Alien True Believer. I love this guy. He's just adorable. First of all, he gets +1 strength for each other toy character you have in play, which in this movie deck should be an awful lot, meaning he should be able to trade up plenty. And secondly, during your turn, whenever this character is banished, return another character card named Alien from your discard to your hand. So the first one goes, but then the second one brings the first one back, and after that, you will never be short of an alien. The final card I really like in Emerald is Pizza Planet Spaceport. So 7 defense and 1 law is pretty good for a 2-drop, honestly. Your toy characters move here for free, so we can completely ignore the 2 ink requirement. And finally, whenever a character is challenged while here, each opponent loses 1 law. So there's literally no downsides to this card. You play it, you put every character you play in it without costing you any more ink, and then if even one of them gets banished, you're going to drain your opponent's law. And if they're going to throw all their power into banishing Pizza Plant instead, well, that's 7 damage that your characters didn't take, and you can go questing. Finally, we have Ruby. And the key cards in this deck, as we can see, are Sid, Babyhead, and Jingle Joe. Now, Sid is a tough one because you want to play 4 copies of Woody Jungle Guide, who's already a 5-cost uninkable. And Sid is a 6 uninkable. I've seen plenty of games already where someone gets a hand full of Woody and Sid and has a really tough time. So we don't want to play all 4 of Sid, but his ability is just so effective that I think 3 is a good place to be. As a 5/5, he's got the biggest body in the deck. And playtime's over. When you play this character, you may banish another chosen character of yours. If you do, each opponent chooses and banishes one of their characters. So one of yours for one of theirs, not great, but double prizes, his other ability. During your turn, whenever a toy character is banished, gain 2 lore. So you banish one of yours to banish one of theirs, and gain 2 lore for doing it. Importantly, note it just says whenever a toy is banished, not your toys. So if you happen to play the mirror match against another toy deck, then you gain a law every time their toys are banished as well, as long as it's during your turn. Babyhead also does an important job. During your turn, whenever one of your other characters is banished, draw a card. Even more card draw. Why not? It's amazing. And Tighten the Bolts, another pay 2 or less to do something. In this case, chosen character gets +2 strength this turn, which pairs quite nicely with the secondary ability. We can give one of our cheaper characters a 2 strength buff, send them sailing into an opposing character, and then they'll be banished. We get to draw a card and do it all over again. Now again, Babyhead's uninkable, so we can't play all 4, but it's a strong card and well worth a 3 of. Then finally, we've got Jingle Joe, Sid's toy. There's a few interesting Ruby toys at the bottom end, but I think Jingle Joe is the best. 2/3 with 1 law is decent for his stats and for his cost, and Turn Out the Light is really strong. Whenever one of your other toy characters is banished, chosen character of yours gains evasive until the start of your next turn. So whenever another toy is banished, Joe can give someone evasive, including himself, and you stay evasive until the start of your next turn. So it can keep a character pretty safe, as long as your opponent's on the right movie deck, or be used to get a challenge in against something you're finding tricky. All in all, some very strong cards there. So here we have the cost curve for the deck. And as I mentioned early, it's a very heavy on the low drops. We've got 10 1 drops, 16 2 drops, so that nearly half the deck is 2 or less, because remember, we want to play cards that cost 2 or less ink. Honorary mention for Bullseye in there. He's a 3 cost, but he's 1 ink less to play if you have a Woody or Jessie in play. So he can potentially cost 2, which puts the deck up to a full 30 cards that cost 2 or less ink. As we see, majority is Amber, with roughly equal shares of Emerald and Ruby, and thankfully the deck is mostly inkable. I think we've got 10 uninkables in 10 uninkables in total, with the 4 Woody Jungle Guides, 3 copies of Sid, and 3 copies of Babyhead. And finally, as you see, it's a very character-heavy deck. Unsurprising for movie decks, they almost always are. So that's all the most important cards in the deck, which as we can see makes up 9 of our total of 16. So quick talk through the deck as a whole. It's relying on getting lots of low-cost characters down and triggering useful effects as it goes. Woody, the 1-drop, is very useful to create the shift line to Jungle Guide on turn 3. And Pterodactyl Janie Doll pretty much stands out as the character we want to be sacrificing into Sid. Otherwise, it's fairly straightforward. Flood the board, get loads and loads of characters in, and then get some big value players like Woody, like Sid, and like Bouncing Ducky, who gets cheaper for every toy in your discard to finish out the game. You've got some reach with You've Got a Friend in Me and Woody, Leader of the Toys, and Pizza Planet will help stall out your opponents. So all in all, I really quite like this deck. It's cheap, it's low to the ground, but I think it's going to be surprisingly effective in a lot of circumstances, and will definitely be one of the most fun decks that have come out of the most recent set. So that's the end of my summary. Please do let me know if you like this deck, if you have a go with it, let me know how it plays for you. And then, If there are any other movies you want to hear about, any of the new ones or an old one I haven't done yet, then please do let me know down in the comments. I'll see you again next time for another Inkwell remix.